to episode 26 of Anime Mouse Other. I'm TJ.
And I'm Shawn.
And this is the review show that reviews anime, movies, whatever. Do your thing.
Fullmetal Alchemist, the movie, I wasn't ready. Conqueror of Shamballa came out in 2005. Sequel, direct sequel to the anime, 2003.
You didn't bother with the wiki this time.
Nope. It's a direct sequel, and it concludes the 2003 anime.
Yes, it does. Good premise.
Ed's in Munich, Germany, 1923, 2 years later. Al is essentially Ed, just not a state alchemist, I don't think. Running around the world, solving people's problems, doing alchemy on the fly.
He wasn't doing alchemy. He can't do alchemy.
What is he doing?
Ed?
Yeah. No, Al.
Oh, no.
I might have said Ed. I thought, looking like Al, I think is what I was getting at. Like, he's doing, like, the Ed thing. Al's doing the Ed thing where he's going around. Okay, I think that's what I was getting at. Sorry. Doing alchemy. Although, he has, I don't know if he can do no circle transmutations. Because he does clap his hands and does transmutations, but he has circles on his gloves. So I didn't pay attention enough to know if what he was doing.
They kind of implied he knows how to do everything innately now.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he does need them.
Soldiers are coming, metal suits of armor with dead soldiers in them are coming through the gate from Munich into their world. And he's imparting little bits of his soul, apparently, into each one to convert them to fight the soldiers. Which is obviously not something normal alchemists can do.
Yeah, no. Anyway,
premise, Ed's trying to get back to the world. Al wants to find Ed. That's kind of the premise.
Well, no, you have Nazi Germany rising up and trying to create a gate to try to invade our world, the Fullmetal world. So,
and not just invade it to like conquer anything. The lady that's in charge, 1921 Germany, ladies in charge, Nazi party. Come on. I'm just saying. She wants to wipe out their world because it threatens hers.
Yeah, but that only came after...
It was just an excuse.
It was like later.
It was a bullshit excuse.
That only happened later when she did a complete heel turn. The original intent was to get to the new world because they thought it was Shamballa, the ancient city of Shamballa.
I don't even know what that is.
It's
why they care about it.
Shamballa is, I think it's a South American legend of a city of gold, essentially.
Oh.
And it could be, I also think it's be known as a paradise in Tibetan lore and stuff like that. It's just one of those big, like, archaeological, mythological cities that everyone tries to get to. That's all it is.
Okay. But then she wants to destroy everything. So she has some sort of bomb. I'm assuming it's an atomic bomb, but she never uses it. Because she like gets through the portal much, towards the end of the movie. The big climactic fight. And the issue with her going through it isn't just the fact that she has ships and weapons and stuff, because obviously they can handle themselves. A lot of people will die, but they'll be fine. Yeah. But she has some sort of weapon of mass destruction to kill everybody, which I'm assuming is the atomic bomb, which Germany didn't have.
No, I don't think that was...
She had something. I referenced it a couple times. She has a bomb on that ship or something.
I guess. I don't know. I know that in the movie opens up in the Fullmetal world before the end of the movie.
There's like a little... it's before the conclusion of the anime.
Yes.
They give you... I think it was for trailers and stuff to try and get you to like throw you off. But they just give you a little bit of Ed and Al fighting.
Well, no. It's... This guy created an atomic bomb using science.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, he created an atomic bomb using science, and he's trying to sell it to... the Fullmetal Alchemist, who he thinks it's Al, because...
that's really up that in their world with alchemy, they also have regular science. But in our world, there's no alchemy. But there sort of is alchemy that they use to create the portal. Well,
the thing is, from what I understand, the people who die in our reality fuel the energy for the alchemy in their world.
Whatever.
So...
What happens when not enough people have died? Seriously, like if there's a year where there's not a whole lot of deaths, but you're in the alchemy world casting a load of alchemy, what happens? Doesn't make any sense.
You get a bunch of homunculi.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. Honestly, I wasn't...
It was a shitty excuse.
I'm not a big fan of this movie.
I don't mind the movie so much. That was just a stupid reason.
I don't mind the movie itself.
I don't like the ending, particularly.
I don't like the ending either, but I don't like the idea that the gate leads to our reality and it's 1920s Germany.
I don't really like it, but I don't really care.
Yeah. And then there's the whole subplot with the gypsy girl in this that
That felt forced.
It felt
like
forced.
This is like a Rose type character.
And she looked like Rose.
A little bit, yeah.
But it also felt like a little prejudiced, too, because they try to show, oh, look, Gypsy Girl, good Gypsy Girl, but in the end, she just betrays them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So...
That being said, she betrays them, but she has reason for it. It's not like she's doing it because she's evil. She's doing it because she wants to get away from this world that's oppressing her and her people.
I get it. It felt forced, though.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. And, like, I also didn't like the idea that Ed keeps running into people he knows that look like other people from his reality and stuff.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense.
I mean, it does, but, like, I just don't like this whole premise and the way it went.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's just like...
I was surprised when they... Completely off topic. When they referenced Hughes, referenced the Nazi Party as the National Socialist Workers' Party. That's their name.
Right.
I was just surprised that they did that. Most people tend to leave the Socialist Workers' Party part out of the Nazi reference history books.
I mean, and Hughes is a Nazi in this.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? That's actually a really good thing. Because I've listened to, I forget the guy that does it, but there's a podcast called Hardcore History, where an amateur historian goes through and, like, explains certain periods of times and certain periods of events. And during the World War II period, he really gets into what, like, the average person who might be a police officer in 1920 Germany, or 1926 France, or whatever time they got invaded, what their life is like and why they were doing the things they were doing. Most of those people are probably normal like you and me.
Right.
But over the threat of them and their family being strung up and killed and tortured, the threat of them being fired and not having any money because you will literally not have a job. That's the best case scenario of you refusing to do what you're told. Right? You not having a job and not being able to feed your family and then starving to death. But, like, the torture and all that jazz, like, just straight up death. It's like, you kind of had to do it because there was no way out. So, Hughes is a good character. You know that. Mm-hmm. We all know that. But he's also a cop for the Nazis.
Right.
So, like, it in a very weird way, it kind of shows that they're just people, good or bad. Sometimes they're put in tough spots.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. And at one point he goes to collect Ed because he's causing trouble for the party.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, but he tried.
Yeah.
It really should have.
And he's very racist against the Gypsy Girl.
I mean, 1920s Germany, come on.
I know, I'm just saying.
And he's a Nazi. What are you going to do?
That's what I mean, but you could avoid all of this if you just kept them all in their own world.
Yeah, but he's dead in their own world. But, screen time for a dead character.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't mind that whole... Yeah, it didn't bother me too much. Again, it's like they're making up their own ending. They're making... You know what I mean? Know. Like, that's a conceivable ending.
But, like, they have this fantastic world, and then they say, okay, what's on the other side? It's our world. It feels lazy.
It does, yeah. I mean, too many people have done it in the past.
Yeah, so that's my whole problem with it. It's just lazy.
The Sword of Truth series did that, too, and it was shitty.
Anyway, back to the movie.
Yeah, back to the movie. Oh, one thing I wanted to say, and I should have probably brought up in the other one. So, you know how Roy's fireworks?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a metal glove, essentially, that when he snaps his fingers, it creates a spark, and on the back of the glove has his alchemy circle.
Mm-hmm.
That seems pretty easy to use. Why aren't you mass producing this? Like, even if you have to sit down and teach the soldiers how it works so they can understand it and make it work, right? Not just snapping your finger and fire, boom. But, like, teaching them the science behind it, it would be worth it. Even if it was a month course, a 6-month course, and you only 10% of the class passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be worth it. You would have an unstoppable military force instantly.
That's true.
Without stones, without Philosopher's Stones, instantly you win every fight.
The only two things I can think of is that alchemists are only specialized and they can only do certain kinds of alchemy.
They didn't say that. It seems to be a whole lot more. They never said that for sure. It seems to be a whole lot more like how a doctor works. You know, general alchemy, of course. You can fix any TV that breaks or radio or whatever it is. But he chose to go into fire. What's his name chose to go into chimeras.
Well, that's my thing. I think they didn't choose. They're just predisposed to certain kinds of
Sure, so like maybe he's the best at it. But again, if you could do a 6-month course and only 5% make it, 1%, it would still have an unstoppable force.
Point is, I don't think anybody can do the fire alchemy that he can.
I completely disagree. That doesn't make any sense.
That's the impression that I got, and the other, like...
What it seems to be so far, at least in the show, is that, like, you apply to be a state alchemist after you went through and independently sought out teachers to teach you alchemy. Well,
Right.
if you had a state course teaching you alchemy, teaching you how to do it, so many other people would succeed.
Well, that's my whole point, though, because they only take the best of the best there, and
Sure, they only take the best of the best, but again, you're taking the best of random people that chose to seek out.
That's why I think it's specialized. That's why I think it's so resident random, because I think only certain people can do certain kinds of alchemy. That's my whole thing.
They might be predisposed to be better at it, but no, I don't think anyone can do any alchemy. You just have to study it more.
Well, then I disagree. That's why they each get their tag names and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they specialize in it. They're better at it.
But you never see.
But that doesn't mean they can't do a different kind of alchemy.
But you never see.
Actually, you do in this anime, because at one point Roy goes to study human transmutation circles, and Hawkeye comes in and says, "What the f*** are you doing? You're doing forbidden alchemy."
Yeah, but that's a generalized thing.
Human alchemy is not generalized. That's clearly a very specialized field.
It's a specialized field in the aspect that you're describing, but it has been mentioned many, many times that you can do it.
But obviously it's mentioned many, many times because people have people that die and they want to bring them back. Doesn't mean it's not specialized.
Okay, I'm just saying, that's the impression I got. The other reason I can give is that then you wouldn't have individual characters for their anime.
Oh, for sure. That's perfectly fine. But it would just make a bit more sense at some point. Like, even if it's at the end of the show, you see Rory, like, setting up, like, a school for people to come and learn alchemy.
And then here's another thing. Sure, you'll be powerful, but do you really want all these people being able to snap their fingers and set people on fire?
Yeah.
So, you might want only one person.
I mean, the state in this is essentially Nazi Germany took over.
Yeah, but what happens if those people decide to betray them like Roy did?
But you wouldn't, because you're better at it.
Roy betrayed them?
You're the Fuhrer. You wouldn't feel like that. People are too conceited in their own head. They just want the power. Anyway, doesn't matter.
The Fuhrer wasn't in charge of everything anyway.
Sort of was.
He was being controlled by Dante.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, back to the movie. Envy is apparently on the other side of the gate, which happened at the end of the show. You just don't know if he actually went through or not. Apparently he is, and he's in his dragon form. In Brotherhood, he's more like not the Japanese, Chinese long dragon. He's more like a stocky type dragon.
I didn't understand the dragon thing.
That's his true form, apparently. I read it up before doing this.
That's his true form?
That's his true form.
He's a dragon. How is he a dragon?
I don't know. How is the one a water thing? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying. That's
his true, like, homunculus form.
The dragon doesn't make sense in our reality. If you want to say, okay, his true form is a dragon in the alchemist reality, sure. But on the other side of the gate, he should not be a dragon.
I think the reason why he became a dragon is because he doesn't have a body to go into. So he's just his true form.
Yeah, I understand.
Because, you know what I mean? Like, there isn't a homunculus over there.
Yeah, no, I got you. But it just doesn't make sense. Because a dragon should not exist in our reality, is all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. No, I get it.
That's why I'm saying.
And somehow they use him to make the alchemy work.
Right. Him and...
They don't explain it. Because alchemy isn't supposed to work in that world, but somehow they make it work.
Well, they have...
Just for the gate.
Al on the other side is helping.
Yeah, well, I mean, they said, both of them have to open it up, but, like, it's still working at least one way, because in the very beginning they're sending soldiers through with just one gate.
And apparently they need the dragon, and then Hohenheim kills himself in the dragon's mouth to activate the things.
So Ed can potentially go back.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think that was the reason.
Yeah, he wants to make sure Ed gets back, and then Ed gets on a rocket. And
Ed pulls some shit out. So, like, he storms that little secret state meeting by being on a biplane with the Fuhrer flying it. And he jumps out really high. It's not like he's 2 feet away from the building. Really high up, crashes through a window, doesn't stop, and then lands on, like, one of the storied floors, and he's fine.
He's the Fullmetal Alchemist. He landed on
If he had alchemy, that would, like, he could have cushioned the fall, whatever. Yeah. But, like, he doesn't. He should have been dead instantly.
He landed on his middle arm and leg.
The one that has, like, this engine in it. Yeah. The arm has, like, an engine in it. He can, like, open his elbow up and crank it. Yeah. And it gets strong.
I don't know. This movie's kind of lame the more I talk about it.
It's not great. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent ending. Yeah. But, like, the movie itself, all of it together isn't great.
I mean, it's a good ending overall, but I don't like the ending of the movie, where him and Al are now just in our world.
So, what happens is, Ed comes back to our world, but so's the lady in the ship, blowing shit up, trying to destroy everyone.
Yeah, because they get over to the other side of the gate.
Yes. And then, Ed destroys her, But I'm assuming the bomb is... Oh, no. So he needs to go back through the gate and go to our world so he can destroy the gate on our side so that they can never come back no matter what.
Right.
So that... Because, like, they could still open it even if the gate on their side is closed and, like, send a bomb through.
Right.
So he has to go do that. He leaves Al and Roy... And he gets there, and then, oh no, Al came with him.
Yeah, and now they're both trapped in our world. It's like...
You just assume that you know that they destroyed the gate, and then they sort of go into hiding and escape Germany.
Right, now they're going to try to do good in our world. It's like...
My main issue with this ending isn't that they're in our world. It's that Winry gets f***ing left up high and dry.
That's true, too.
God damn. That girl is nothing but a saint, constantly fixing Ed and taking care of Al.
Yeah.
Raising him for 2 f***ing years while Ed's in our world. And then
they just
Ed finally comes back. He doesn't confess his love. He doesn't give her a smooch. Runs off to finish the fight and then leaves her forever.
Yep.
No note.
That's true, too. That's Winry gets the short end of the stick in the show.
Really?
But, like, my problem is they are in our world, and then now technically they're supposed to exist in our history.
Yeah, they resigned themselves to live there. They're not even trying to come back.
So that just...
But he did explain to Al at the end that it's like, well, we have to live here. Let's accept it and, like, help them. And Al's like, what are you doing? Why are you helping them? He's like, I'm trying to, like, help the society.
And my problem is now that should be affected in our history. And it's just like...
Sure, but, like, we're not there yet. It's 1923.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like... It's supposed to be a fantasy anime. Now it's affecting our history and stuff.
It's not really our history anymore. It's a different world.
Yeah,
it's us.
I know. I got you.
We're the third world line.
I know. I'm just saying, but it's just that's what I mean. It feels lazy, and like,
it is. It's very lazy.
And then it's almost getting the problem with the time travel and stuff like that.
How is he going to help at all? He doesn't know science. Like modern R science, he doesn't understand it at all.
No, I know. It's like, I guess he can apply, since he's a genius in alchemy, he can apply those
I guess he could potentially, get really good at R science, but like...
Yeah. I don't know. He did learn for like 2 years from the alternate Al about rockets and stuff, so...
And he was with his dad for a while, who apparently can make automail.
Yeah, so...
And works. That doesn't work in our world.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's stupid.
Anyway, it's not a bad ending to the show, considering that they just made it up on the fly, but it's not f***ing great. And the movie's not that great.
No. It's just an add-on.
Yeah. As a movie, I'd have to give it a 5 or a 6. As an ending to the show, a 6.
Yeah, I'm about out of 5 myself, so it's okay. I mean, we should probably watch the Dragon Ball Z movie or at this point, but since that's what the kick we're on. We have to get back to Lupin eventually, too, though.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
We can finish Dragon Ball Z movies first.
Alright, so...
Next episode.
So, yeah, we're done with that. F, so we're on G, and it's Shawn's...
There's not a lot in G. There's only a couple...
Well, here's the thing. There is some in G, but we already covered all the good stuff in G.
Yeah, Grimgar, Fantasy and Ash.
Yeah,
I mean... Any others?
Yeah, well, Ghost in the Shell, which you hated, but I like.
Yeah.
But if you...
Ghost Stories?
But before we, like, if going into it, didn't know you didn't like it, so if it was just Ghost in the Shell, we would have probably...
we would have picked it.
Yeah, exactly.
Gantz is in here, but I've seen it a couple times, and, like, I just don't want to watch 20-something episodes. I want to... This was 51 episodes and a couple movies. I think a nice slow one.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, he's choosing...
We're choosing Gate. I've seen it already. I remember enjoying it. That being said, I'm pretty sure it's very harem-esque, even though it doesn't have a harem tag.
It has action, adventure, fantasy, military.
Off-duty self-defense forces, officer, and otaku, Itami, I'm just going to go with the last name, is on his way to attend a Dojin convention in Ginza, Tokyo. When a mysterious portal in the shape of a large gate suddenly appears. From this gate, supernatural creatures and warriors clad in medieval armor emerge, charging through the city, killing and destroying everything in their path. With swift actions, Yoji saves as many lives as he can, while the rest of the JSDF, Japan's Self-Defense Force, their only military force, direct their efforts towards stopping the invasion. 3 months after the attack, blah 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 has been tasked with a special recon team. They go through the gate.
This is a long thing.
12 episodes, though.
12 episode first season. It's only his second season.
That's not terrible. There's a second season. I don't think I've seen the second.
I don't know. Anyway, we're going to do Gate next episode. Bye.
See you guys.